CWC meeting was conducted to discuss the important agendas. One agenda is one current political situation, to forthcoming assembly elections and organizational elections. A copy of the opening remarks of the Honorable Congress President at the CWC meeting already has been circulated to the media. We passed 3 resolutions, one on the political situation, on inflation, and on acute agrarian distress and diabolical attack on the India's farmers. Following this, the CWC also discussed the proposed significant and revolutionary training program for the party workers and leaders. We are going for a massive training program from top to bottom of the Congress party. Party has decided to undertake regular training programs for leaders and workers at all levels. This will be regular and continuous training programs. Though this regular continuous training program, the workers and leaders will be trained in party ideologies, policies, expectation of a Congress worker, grassroots messaging, election managements, failure of present government and countering propaganda. In this regard, it has been decided to conduct an orientation camp for state trainers and in charge at Sevagram Wardha from November 12 to 15. After that, state level, district level, block level training will be conducted regularly. Further, CWC also discussed and decided to observe a ground mass agitation awareness program named Jan Jagran Abhiyan across the country on runaway inflation and price rise between 14th November to 29 November 2021. This mass awareness and contact program, the party workers may reach up to the maximum number of people and create awareness on the bad handling of economy by the central government and resulted price rise. During the 2-week-long Jan Jagran Abhiyan, all senior office bearers of PCC, DCC, block committees, all frontal organizations, departments and cells will undertake a long padayatra to touch each polling booth. No public meeting but small group meetings will be held to interact with the common people. It has been also decided that for a successful implementation of the mass awareness contact program, the PCC will set up control rooms in each state and state level trainers will be given 2-3 days training in the AICC. They will further training designated people at district and booth level. CWC also discussed the organization election schedule in detail. The CWC has approved to conduct the organization election in the following schedule. Enrollment of members for organization election on payment of ₹5 each starts from 1st November. That is, it will start on 1st November 2021 to 31st March 2022. Massive membership campaign. DCC shall publish preliminary list of members together with the list of eligible contestants for participation of the election enrolled up to 31st March, that is before 15th April 2022. That means 1st April 2022 to 15th April 2022. This is preliminary list publication of the list of eligible contestants and primary members. Election of president and executive of primary committees or primary committees, booth committees and block committees, and election of block president and executive committees and one member of PCC by block committee from 16th April 2022 to 31st May 2022. Election of president, vice president, treasurer and executive committee of DCC 1st June 2022 to 20th July 2022. Election of PCC president, vice president, treasurer and PCC executive and AICC members by the PCC general body 21st July 2022 to 20th August 2022. Then election of the AICC president 21st August 2022 to 20th September 2022. 21st August 2022 to 20th September 2022. Election of CWC members and other bodies by the AICC members. During the plenary session, date to be announced later, preferably in the month of September, October. This is the election schedule. We already passed the 3 resolutions. First of all, resolution on the political situations. The Congress Working Committee has reviewed the political situation in the country. The CWC is deeply distressed to note the multiple challenges that face the country and the all-round failure of the Modi government in dealing with these challenges. In fact, the catastrophic policies of the Modi government have exacerbated the situation and have placed enormous burdens on the people of the country. CWC, alarmed by the rapid deterioration in the security of the country, both external and internal. Nearly 18 months after the clashes in Ladakh, in which 20 soldiers lost their lives, Chinese troops continue to be in occupation of Indian territory. Nor have we been able to recover our old positions. The aggressive posture of China and unabated infiltration by Pakistan have resulted in a dramatic deterioration of the security of Jammu and Kashmir. After the changes in the regime in Afghanistan and the takeover by the Taliban, the situation is even graver, but the government remains oblivious or in deep slumber. Terrorist attacks have increased and both security forces and innocent citizens have lost their lives. The administration of J&K, or whatever goes in the names of administration, is incompetent, paralyzed and in a shambles. The way forward is restoration of full statehood and holding democratic elections. In other parts of the country, notably in Assam, Nagaland and Mizoram, there are growing threats to security. Interstate disputes have flared up, suddenly driving fear in the minds of the people living in the border villages. The Naga peace talks have suffered a serious setback due to the ham-handed approach of the Modi government. Drug trafficking has assumed monstrous proportions. The seizure of 3,000 kgs of heroin at Adani Port, Gujarat, following reports of another large consignment that has successfully imported into India, give an indication of the huge dimensions of the illegal trade that seems to have flourished under the watch of the Modi government. The continued side of the economy is a matter of great concern. After the sharp decline in 2021, the Modi government boasted of a V-shaped recovery. All signs point to an uneven and struggling recovery in different sectors. The jobs that were lost during the recession and the pandemic have not been recovered. The micro and small units that were shut down have not been restarted. Millions of families face the twin hardship of unemployment and high prices. The agitation by the farmers against the 3 black laws on agriculture continue after 10 months. A government imbued the arrogance has refused to engage the farmers in talks and has stood as a mere bystander while the police and rogue elements in the BJP are unleashed violence upon them. The tragic incident at Lakhimpur Kheri is a clear example of official support to the attempt to suppress the voice of the farmers. The refusal of the Prime Minister to condemn the brutal murder of farmers and to sack the Minister of State for Home Affairs have shocked the conscience of the country. The Congress party has noted with the grave concern the notification issued by the central government empowering the officers of Central Security Forces to search any place and arrest, as also search any person in the purported exercise of powers to prevent cognizable offence under any central act. This is a dangerous encroachment on the exclusive power of the states and the power of the state police. The Congress party will consult all stakeholders and other political parties as well as state governments and formulate a course of action to compel the Modi government to repeal these notifications. The Congress Working Committee also notes the unbridled and unchecked state-sponsored attack on scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, minorities and women in order to intimidate them and deny them their rights. Congress party will fight all such lumpen elements courageously and decisively and defend the rights of all our citizens. The country financial situation is in terrible shape. The Modi government has no compunction in running the government on revenue raised through crushing taxes imposed on petrol and diesel. In order to hide the precarious state of its finances, the Modi government has launched a fire sale of the assets built in this country over 70 years. It is widely believed that the most valuable among these assets in ports, airports, petroleum, power and telecommunication will be sold to select business houses that are cronies of the Modi's government. The assault on democratic institutions completes the sad and shameless narrative of the Modi government. India is no longer regarded as a democracy. It has earned the label of an electoral autocracy. Parliament has been contemptuously disregarded. The judiciary has been debilitated by not filling vacancies in the courts and tribunals. Independent watchdog bodies like the Information Commission, Election Commission and the Human Rights Commission have been debased and rendered virtual ciphers. The media has been threatened to make submission through raids and false cases.